Stella, will you marry me? Will you marry me? Will you marry me?
Oh my God.
Oh my God, I can't believe that I was actually in tears. There's nothing I root for more than love. Am I surprised by who has said yes? Not really. I think it's a given. With Stella and Philip, they remind me of Ree and Jeff from last season. So they were very smooth sailing. So I'm not surprised with their decision. With Rachel and Stevo, I think Stevo didn't like his partner. I think he was afraid of the backlash. And this is why he's decided to string Rachel along. Do I agree with this decision? No. David and Alicia surprised, not really. And then Danny and Beck, it was just a matter of time. I think Danny decided to go with it for as long as he could. That way he could get the clout. But I don't think he really was into Beck as much as she told us that he was into her. Unless, he was saying something behind the camera's back. But at the end of the day, I think on the honeymoon, he checked out. The moment she accused him of something, he checked out. So I'm not surprised with this decision. I'm surprised with the response he got from Beck, but I'm not surprised with this decision. I would 100% sort of say I agree with it, and I think he made the best decision for himself because they were always going to be in a roller coaster, and I don't think anyone has the bandwidth to deal with that. Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by to go Valerie. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. We're still trying to get to 6,000. Click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Married at First Sight Australia, Season 13, Episode 17. So it's final vows, and it's about to be messy. Anyway, you have all the couples just having a conversation about Scott and Gia, because people can't understand why Gia came back and the way she tried to sort of spin the narrative and sort of make it seem like she was the victim and Scott was the villain. Am I surprised that everybody is sort of surprised by that? No, I'm not really, because at the end of the day, Gia was there for clout. We all know she was there for clout, so I'm not surprised that this is how things turned out for her. Anyway, you have everyone sort of just sitting in their couples, reflecting on their journey and sort of understanding that they've come to the end of the road, and it's going to be important for them to make decisions about their couples moving forward. So first couple, we have Alicia and David. Alicia and David, for me, I personally don't understand them as a couple. I think it's two influencers who were brought on the show, and one of them was promised a better narrative, and the one that was promised a better narrative got to win. And I think Alicia must have done something behind the cameras to piss the production off, because her edit doesn't make sense. She's been the sweet, loving, and whatever, and then suddenly it's turned, into a totally different character. She's suddenly giving off, what's her name? Beck vibes, and I don't get it. Anyway, so you have them having a conversation. Well, they're sort of reflecting on their journey. David is saying, I tried to fight for a relationship, but sadly it wasn't enough. We were sort of functioning at different frequencies. Alicia kept saying she wanted someone who functions on high frequency. I think she just wanted someone who was toxic. I think she thought if she asked for someone who looked like David, he was going to be a toxic character, only to get this man who was very well packaged and very sort of emotionally intelligent. I think David understood that if he did anything that could be seen as out of character, he was going to face a lot of backlash, because she's a pretty blonde hair, blue-eyed little girl, and so if he comes in and he does anything that society deems as not right, then he would face a lot of backlash. And I think that is something that sort of allowed him to sort of restrain himself and sort of control himself in how he responded to her. David on his part is upset because he feels like Alicia, he did try to give as much of himself as he could to this marriage, but sadly it was never enough, because she kept finding fault and fault and fault. On the wedding day, she asked him to kneel down and propose. He did that, and I think from that moment, as I said in previous reviews, she got the upper hand and he could never win after that. And so for them to sort of go through the rest of the journey, she was always going to go for the upper hand, and if he didn't give her what she wanted, then she was going to lash out. Anyway, they both leave their separate apartments and go back home. David goes to Brisbane, she goes to Adelaide, and then they meet for their final vows. It was really sad, because while they were back home, they're sort of reflecting on their journey and how the highs and the lows. And I think Alicia, had something going on back home, because I heard a rumor that she had an ex that she had been seeing, or it was said on the show, if I'm not mistaken. And I think she sort of realized that David wasn't going to be the man she wanted him to be, in the sense that he wasn't going to be toxic, he wasn't going to be cheating or whatever. So she decided to find a way to sort of break up with him. That way, it should have justifiable reason, because at the end of the day, he was getting a very good at it, or he was coming across in a very positive way. After that, they meet up. Obviously, they write their vows. They meet up for the final commitment ceremony. They come through. They first give each other a kiss. Well, David goes first. She comes second. They give each other a kiss. They're both wearing white. Alicia has already told us that she is going to break his heart, because he doesn't know what he's in for, because she feels some type of way about how he's treated her in the marriage. And it's like, girl, please, whatever it is up to you. David is saying he thought, he had found love. This is what he wanted. He wanted to find the love of his life, and he thought Alicia was it. But sadly, his dream turned into a nightmare, in the sense that she never allowed him to speak or get the upper hand. They then have a conversation where he sort of compliments everything about her at the start, talking about how loving their relationship was at the start. And then he started going downhill. Well, it went downhill because he said, I felt unheard. I'm trying to find my voice. I feel like, I left someone who didn't want me. So you wanted to be in control. And so when you couldn't get control, you shut down. You said you wanted me to sort of speak up. When I tried to speak up, it was a problem, and we're going around in circles. I think this is what I think. I think production decided to give Alicia the edit that she got at the very end. Whatever's happened in this relationship, I haven't watched the after party. I think maybe I might want to watch it, because something happened that's made them sort of treat Alicia as the villain in this relationship. Because David, after saying his vows, then said, "I'm walking away because I want to preserve myself, more or less." He wants to use self-reflected, use self-love, and he's choosing him. And so for him to walk away and leave Alicia standing at the altar, that was chef's kiss. That was chef's kiss, because I don't think she expected it. And sadly for her standing there, him walking away sort of left her holding this speech that she couldn't read to anyone. And so she decided to sort of open up her speech and read it to herself, because she complained that, why are you walking away? Are you not going to listen to what I said? I wasted 3 months of my life. It's like, girl, this is what I said when your mom was telling you that she wants you to have children as soon as possible, because it's going to take a while for you to heal from the breakdown of your relationship with David. Once you're healed from that, by the time you start seeing people and become in a seriously committed relationship, you'll be 40. So whatever your mom was trying to turn you away from David, you're still going to go through that. So maybe mommy didn't know best. For Alicia to be reading her vows, and production to be going in and out from allowing her to read a couple of words, and then going to David and him saying something and then coming back, it was really sad. It was really sad. I think if I were Alicia, I wouldn't have read my vows out. I would have just walked back to the car and left. There was no need for her to stand there and look like, she didn't understand what was happening. She knew what was happening. She made this bed. She needed to lay in it. She should have maybe behaved a bit better, because David has the upper hand, because he can complain to say, you were flirting during, when you met your alternate, you were saying derogatory things about me. But she has nothing to stand on. She can't continue to sort of die on the hill of the fact that you took off your wedding ring. She can't. I don't know what's going to happen at the final, dinner party. I can't wait to see what happens with the two of them. Next up, we have Rachel and Steven. Rachel and Steven, for me, I think production managed to convince them to stay till the very end, because they don't make sense to me. Rachel is all in. Her bar is at low, right on the floor. And Steven, for me, is just going through the motions so that he doesn't get backlash from the viewers, because everything else he's doing doesn't make sense. I don't understand how he can continue to go through this experiment with this woman and still be that awkward and uncomfortable around her. Anyway, they both say goodbye. He's going to his home. She is going back to her home as well. She went back to Melbourne, if I'm not mistaken, and he is from Sydney, so he stayed in Sydney. And then they met for their final vows. Production has really cleaned them up. They really have cleaned them up. They really have sort of polished them and tried to make them a very elegant looking couple, because of the way that Stevo was dressed, and even the dress that Rachel was wearing, it really looked cute. They spoke about their journey. Stevo said, he was worried that, he was a slow burn. And so his worry was that, would he ever catch up with Rachel? Rachel, her fear was that she was worried that once he went back to his work and stuff, you'd forget about her, and that would be the end of it. There is concerns about distance. Steve was saying he's worried about the long distance and whether that will work for them. But he appreciates that he's had a supportive and loving partner in Rachel. She was able to provide him the support that he needed in order to grow their relationship. He chose her. He said he wants to stay in the relationship. Do I see it working long term? I don't think so. I think Steve's family is the reason why they're still a couple. If we're being honest, I think his family is the reason why they're still a couple. Otherwise, they would have separated because he doesn't really seem to be on board with her. Rachel, on her part, she said, you allow me to be me. They both allow each other to be who they want to be. And so that is a positive for them. But sadly, I don't think there's a romantic attraction. Rachel might have it for Stevo, but Stevo, I don't think, has it for Rachel. Rachel chose to stay in this marriage. Do I think they should have said yes? Maybe. Give it a week or two, but I don't think it's going to last longer than, the first year of marriage, because at the end of the day, they really don't seem as connected or invested as Rachel is. And I think Rachel will have to do a lot of giving in order for them to stay as a couple. Then we had Beck and Danny. Beck and Danny were in a very good space. They were very excited. They were very giddy. They were happy. They were very lovey-dovey while they were packing their bags before they both went to their separate apartments. And so they went home, spent some time at home, and then came back for final vows. Beck, her dress, I couldn't understand it. I really couldn't understand it. And the fact that they had them in this forest in the middle of nowhere doesn't make sense. Whether production didn't want Beck to kick off and sort of throw things about it, whatever, it didn't make sense. That why did they go there? Obviously, they've had a very complicated journey. They really have. Beck, on her part, feels like they've grown as a couple. They've really worked hard as a couple to get to where they are, and she feels like there is room for further growth. The fact that Danny got along with her dog really was a positive for her, and so she is happy that they can make this relationship work. She hopes that they can continue. And then Danny came in. Danny really pulled the rug from underneath Beck. I don't think Beck expected it. Also, I don't trust Beck, given the narrative she and Gia tried to create for the scenario in the last dinner party. So I don't really believe her reactions. You had Danny talk about their journey. He spoke about, the tantrums on the honeymoon, the fact that she was accusing him of ogling somebody else. And then obviously there's the Gia situation, there's the comments that happened at her house. And so it's really a complicated situation because these people have not had the smoothest of journeys. These people have been a roller coaster. One minute you come in, they're fighting. The next minute you come in, they're lovey-dovey, they've healed and they're moving on. So I get why Danny would feel some type of way. Danny told Beck that he had decided that he didn't want to commit to her. She was upset. She stormed off and she started crying. And Danny was taken aback because he expected her to kick off. So to have Beck just go and sit there and start crying is something he didn't expect. And he was actually complaining to production that I would have preferred her to lash out because the woman she's showing me now is not the woman she showed me in the experiment. Had she shown me, this tearful and vulnerable side of her, we could still have proceeded with this relationship. Do I agree with him? Yes. But I think Beck has this fight style, as Danny likes to refer it to, that is very unhealthy in the sense that she goes below the belt. She goes way down to the gutter. So it would be very difficult for anyone to try and make that relationship work with her. Beck was upset. She eventually went home. Danny went home. I'm not surprised they both said no. Well, Beck said yes. Danny said no. So I'm not surprised really. And then the love story of the season. Am I surprised with Phillip and Stella? No, I'm not. If we're being honest, I'm not surprised with their decision because at the end of the day, they were going to say yes. They really were going to say yes. They've been smitten from day one. Yes, I agreed, or I was a bit concerned when you had Phillip say that he was a YouTuber, even though I'm a YouTuber myself, because I didn't think that was appropriate for his vows. But I think both of them, love snuck up on them without them knowing because they were in their apartment. They were talking about the fact that, they're going to be moving in together. I love that the experts gave them a video of their wedding and they were able to see their journey and how very healthy and happy they looked on day one. You then had them go back to their individual places and then meet up. And they really had this cutesy scene by the, Sydney Harbour, I think it's called. So they had, Phillip come out. He was surrounded by flowers. It reminded me of Jeff and Ree. He was surrounded by flowers. And then you had Stella come out. She read her vows and how happy she was to be on this journey with this man and how in love she was with him because love snuck up on her when she least expected it. Although she said she felt coming into the experiment, this was her opportunity to find a soulmate, and she's found her soulmate, so she's happy. You then had Philip talk about his side of the relationship. And I think they were able to compromise and reach an understanding and understand that this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. Philip said he could see himself with children with her. He said he could see his life, with her. And when you go into marriage at first sight with the idea that you want your relationship to work, it will work. But if you go there wanting clout and to be on TV, sadly, that is where you'll end. And this is why most people, their relationships don't succeed. The fact that Philip proposed was chef's kiss. It really was chef's kiss. It shows you that this man is really committed and is really found his person, because I don't think he'd go to the extent of finding a ring, although it seemed like a promo from the show. Whoever provided the ring, I don't think he would have done all that if he wasn't really serious. So I root for love, and when someone finds love, I'm happy for them. I'm happy that Philip and Stella have decided to stay married, and I can see a journey for them whereby they stay committed. I saw the video that they did when Mel passed away, so I think they're still together even at this point, and good for them. There are couples that do stay married or married at first sight, and so I love it when people find love wherever they find it, as long as you find love. I can't wait to see what happens at the next dinner party. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Click on the link in my video to watch my review from episode 36. Bye everyone.